Welcome back, Wolverines, to week 5 of the regular season, where the Wolverines tonight will face off against the Somerset South Palm Stallions. They've been looking good so far this season, currently 2-2, still in playoff contention, which is the really big thing. And Henry, how do you feel about the offense so far?
Well, our offense has been really good this year, Brandon, I'm not going to lie. Stephen Barrero is averaging about 17 yards a catch and is becoming Miar's favorite target so far. For the rest of our wide receivers, everybody's caught a touchdown. Miar's has thrown to almost all of our wide receivers, which includes Sunderland, Sixto, and Barrero. So, judging from everything else, I think, to be honest, tonight's going to be the first time that Fitzgerald's going to be catching a touchdown. I'm going to predict it here. He's going to catch the first reception touchdown of his career so far. What do you think?
And I mean, I agree with you. I think that he's been doing very well this year as a wide receiver, and he's playing defense. And our offensive line has been doing amazing. Aiden De Oliveira, Tony Godal is there, very strong. Hector as well. That's the O-line, and I'm feeling very confident in the O-line that Miaris is not going to get any sacks this game. I mean, that's my prediction. And the D-line with Davion Dixon last week, he put up a performance. I don't know about you, Brandon, but how do you feel about the defense?
I mean, on defense, we are looking really good. There have been some big plays given up, but other than that, we have been playing well. Last week, both Tyler Brown and Omar Ortega had an interception. Unfortunately, Omar is out this week. He is sick. Starting at safety today will be Bryce Fitzgerald. TJ James will also be rotating in. At cornerback, it'll be a mix of guys like TJ as well, Stephen Borrero, Tyler Brown, as well as Adrian Hernandez, who will also be getting his first start of the season tonight. A lot to look forward to. Joey Toledo will also be playing D-line, which is not normally happening, so that's going to be exciting. And Henry, what about the running back core do you like?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Our running game has just been superb this season. I mean, Kamani has the most rushing yards. He has the most rushing yards this year. Anthony Rubio, our jack of all trades, has accumulated 56 yards a game as opposed to Kamani's 91 yards. Our running game has just been a big impact in our offense, and I think it's a big part of tonight's game as well. I think Kamani's going to run a lot.
And, I mean, I like Bo. I mean, he's been doing very well. He likes to run out to the wing. I mean, and I was talking to Kamani earlier. I did an interview with Kamani, and he was telling me that he's prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually for this game, and him and the team are ready to kick butt. Another thing that we want to mention is the track team did amazing. I mean, the 7th graders kicked butt, all of them getting first, second, third, and fourth. First place coming in with Sebastian Fernandez. He did amazing. He first place, and let's not to mention someone who runs a lot, Rubio. I mean, that guy is so quick. I tried to do a race with him, and I got hosed. I was destroyed. What do you think about Rubio? How do you think he's going to do? Because he didn't do very well last game. How do you think he's going to do this game?
I mean, he contends for Miatis' favorite target because whenever Rubio's in, you can always expect some sort of toss, flare, or wheel route that Miatis is looking for him. He can make every single catch. He plays running back, but he can play like a receiver too if he needs to. He does everything you need in a running back, and I think the Wolverines are just so lucky to have him on the team. Now, Henry, what do you think basically about Miatis overall?
I think Miaris is going to have an unusually high passing game tonight. I think he's going to be passing a lot. It's going to affect how we end up winning tonight, to be honest. Because Somerset Academy has a 2-2 record, and they're averaging about 16 points a game. Belen has the same record and is averaging 20 points a game. I think that's going to add pressure to both teams. I think that's going to add pressure for both teams to take the win tonight. And I think Belen should be able to handle the Stallions. Running game is going to be huge with Kamani, and Miraz is going to have a very good game tonight. Speaking of Kamani, you had an interview today, Adrian, with Kamani. What does he have to say about tonight's game? Like, how's he feeling?
He's feeling hyped up. He's feeling really excited for tonight's game. And let's cut to Kamani's interview. My name's Andrew Vidal, and today we are joined here by Kamani Alexander.
What's up, guys?
So, Kamani, how do you feel you did last week as a running back? How do you feel you did?
Last game, I felt like, I could have done better, but this game, I'm going to step it up a little bit.
How do you feel your team did? Because, we saw Miatis trying to throw the ball to Rubio, but Rubio couldn't catch it, and it was a hard game. How do you feel they did?
We had a few mistakes last game. This practice, we practiced on those mistakes, and we're getting better. We can see the improvement from last game.
How did you prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually for this game?
So the captains, we got together. We tried to motivate the team a little bit, and yeah.
And Kamani, do you think you guys are ready to take the challenge on today?
Yes, sir. I feel like we worked really hard in practice, and we should deserve the win right now.
All right. Thank you. That's all for today's episode.
Bye.
So, it's a jack of all trades, like Henry said.
So now, talking about Kamani a little bit, he will be rotating in at safety tonight, which is very exciting. He's really big, really fast, really strong, which should really help him out at that safety position. Pretty much everything you need to be successful there, and he should really be making an impact tonight overall.
I mean, you are so right. I think we are hyped up to play this game, and Henry, what do you have to say about Miatis? I mean, from last game, he wasn't able to get the ball out. He was missing his targets. What do you have to say?
Well, last game, I think it was Miaris' best game, to be honest. I'm going to have to disagree with you. We've been doing very well with our offense, and I think it's only up from there. Our defense is also a cohesive unit. We're just working really hard to get the ball to our side.
And thank you very much. We'll send it back up to the booth.
Go Wolverines.
Go Wolverines.
remain standing for the prayer. Remove your caps as we bow our heads. This evening, the varsity football team and the seniors honor Anthony Perotti, their classmate who passed away. It's a reason in orange. We'll also notice that God provided for us this evening an orange sky in honor of Anthony. And so we bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, good and gracious God, you always have us in mind and heart. We pray that we open ours to you. We ask especially this evening, Lord, that you school communities. And we ask this evening especially for the Perotti family, for the repose of the soul of our brother Anthony, that as he watches over us this evening, providing for us this orange sky, that we remember that there is nothing greater than you. We ask that you bless us. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
I'm just going to show you too.
Hello and welcome to a WBLM presentation at De La Cruz Stadium and a battle between Belen Jesuit and Somerset Academy Silver Palms. I'm Javier Fernandez and I'm joined by Bobby Caballero. Bobby, how are you?
I'm great, Javi. Last week the Wolverines had a tough loss against Southridge, but that's only one of their 3 district games, so they have very much in contention to make the playoffs. If you don't know, Belen must win 2 district games to make the playoffs. Next week they have a shot to cutting that down to 1 game when they play their district rivals Southwest in the homecoming game.
And thank you to Cole's Kicking Camps, who gave Noah an opportunity to show off his talent where he actually earned that rating. Now Belen enters this game with a 2-2 record, which is really good considering their tough schedule, but it doesn't get easier at any point throughout the year. They have back-to-back-to-back games against nationally ranked teams. Cardinal Gibbons, Gulliver, and Homestead. Those are going to be really tough games to win. At least they have a 2-week break between Cardinal Gibbons and Gulliver Prep. But ready to return it is Bryce Fitzgerald. We will get to those games later on. Now we got to focus against Somerset. The kick is up and away. It's going to be a squib kick. Didn't expect it, but it's going to be returned, and it's a good return. I think that's Zach Sunderland taking it out to the 44.
Despite not starting, Zach has had a great season this year. You know, a couple touchdowns for him, a nice deep one where he caught it off a tip, and, you know, he's a senior and he's really showing out this year. We're really proud of him.
I can confirm that is Zach Sunderland with the return. Obviously, Bryce is all the way in the back. He's most likely the one always trying to return it, but they tend not to kick his way. Tend to kick it either to the right or left, to Rubio or Sunderland or Bo or whoever's there.
Yeah, I mean, they're all speedsters. It doesn't really matter who gets it. They can all return for 40 yards.
Miatis has 1 receiver that he can pass to, a wing, and 2 running backs, but he's going to hand it off to Bo. Bo on the outside. Bo's going to lean his shoulder, and he's knocked out of bounds after a nice run. Takes it to the 37-yard line. A good run by Bo and a great play call by Cheney.
Well, that's the speed I was just talking about by the returners, and Bo's one of them. When Bo hits that corner and he just takes off, you could see no one could catch up to him. It had to be the deep safety to get to him.
Sean B. Humphrey Jr., also known as Bo, probably the favorite player here for a lot of fans. A fan favorite for sure. Now, we're looking at an interesting set here. 2 receivers, Kamani Alexander and Stefan Borrero, those 2 receivers. It'll hand off to Rubio right up the middle. A play to forget, only pick up a yard.
Well, this is not a very big Somerset team, so I think that's why Belen's running this bunch set. They're going to try and run down the ball all the way to the touchdown.
Yeah, Somerset, this team has improved in recent years. I heard this team has a lot of talent. Didn't get a good opportunity to watch them play, but I have heard they've got a lot of talent. And Belen, this is going to be a great matchup between these two teams. Expect a really close game. You're going to want to stay all the way through. Sticking with two receivers, Kamani, the receiver to the left, Stefan to the right. The handoff to Kamani on the jet. He gets tripped up by number 2 on Somerset. Number 2 is going to be Cayman Donat. Cayman Donat with the tackle here. And that'll put Belen in a 3rd and 3 position. What do they need to do to pick up the first down, Bobby?
Just run the ball again. It's clearly working here today. Those outside runs, it doesn't look like those outside linebackers for Somerset have the speed to close down those gaps and get around. You know, if you give it to Anthony Rubio or Bo, they could get around the edge and maybe get a couple 10, 20 yards.
Stefan already lined up in his receiver position. He's lined up quite close to the play. If I had to guess, this is a running play where Stefan has to block the corner. And a flag down on the field. It's going to be offsides on the defense. At least that's what it looks like right now.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Somerset team. They're 2-2 just like Belen. But last week against South Miami, they lost 53-16, which if Belen could put up that type of numbers today, it's, I mean, I guess they can because they're running all over this team, and it's just a minute in.
Yeah, this reminds me of the Southridge team. They had games where they blew out teams, but they got blown out quite a bit. So 14-8 was their closest game, the first game of the year. That got followed by 41-0, a loss to Monsignor Pace, and a 33-0 win against Florida Christian. And then last week, as you said, 53-12 was a loss. Kamani taking it. He's going to pick up the first down. He's got a shot at the end zone. Kamani will score. Belen leads 6-0. Enough talking about Somerset's record. How about Kamani Alexander leading Belen into the end zone? He's trying to put up a 3rd win today for this team.
Well, that's all Belen needs to do today, you know, just run the ball. Our guys are way too fast for Somerset, and, you know, if they could keep doing – oh, wait, looks like there's a flag on the field.
And they're pointing towards the offense. It's going to be on the Wolverines. It's a holding, so the play will be brought back. Now, the offsides made it a first down, so it'll be 1st and 20. Bobby, are you looking to pass the ball or run the ball in this play?
Since it's only first down, I think you're still range to run the ball, but if you get stopped here and it's 2nd down and long, you might want to start passing.
Zmiatis trots back onto the field. We've seen a lot of the same guys stay in, not a lot of substitutions that I've noticed. Bo, Kamani, Stefan still in along with Rubio. Are you worried about these guys getting tired?
I mean, Crow's done really great with conditioning the team. They go to the weight room every day. You know, they do their sprints. They very rarely get tired, and they're always big in the 4th quarter.
The double handoff is fumbled, but Bo lands back on it. A couple other guys by the ball, but Bo's able to pick up the handoff. Sorry, pick up the ball. Was not able to pick up the handoff. What went wrong there?
It looked like that Bo tried to catch it with his hands instead of letting it go into his stomach, and it just bounced right off of him.
Well, that's going to put Belen in a tough position. It's 2nd and 22. You're going to imagine that they're going to run leading into a pass or pass leading into another pass. The point is 3rd down looks like a passing down here because they got to go pretty far. Stefan still out on the field to your right. Kamani now lined up in the backfield. Stefan is getting pressed. It's a great opportunity for a deep shot on him. Let's see what Miatis does. The handoff. No, it's a fake. He's looking for Stefan on the deep shot, and it's going to go out of bounds.
A little bit of an overthrow there. Stefan ran the route beautifully. He got a little bit of separation, but overall it's really good defense.
Well, this is pretty obvious what Belen is going to do now. If they're looking to go to the end zone, they're going to pass the ball. If they're settling for a field goal, they're going to run it. Now, this is quite interesting. Nico Smith is coming out onto offense, and I couldn't be happier. He's a great blocker, great route runner. He's got great hands. Love to see him back out onto the field. Coming off the field is Bo Humphrey. Bryce Fitzgerald also makes his way onto the field. Obviously, pass catchers that are coming onto the field here. Bobby, how far is Belen looking to throw the ball?
You can throw it into open space, try and run for that first down, but I'd do anything for points here. Just try and get into field goal range. Don't do anything too risky where you have to punt or get a turnover.
5 wide, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. The flag is up, and a delay of game that'll back them up another 5 yards. So it was 3rd and 22. Is 3rd and 27.
I think now, I don't know if they're going to run the same play, but if they were looking to go deep, I think that's what they try and do now again.
I don't think it really changes. It's only 5 yards, and the difference between 22 and 27. It's not that much, considering the scale. Somerset has a couple safeties back deep. Miatis is throwing it over the head of Stefan, who was coming out on the slant. That was just simply a missed throw. Stefan was open. He had some open space that he could run. It just didn't work well.
Well, in other news, Noah Zumpano, the punter who's coming out now, was announced yesterday as a 4-star. He's ranked 7th in Florida and 20th in the nation. I mean, that's really great to hear, but we don't hope to see a lot of him today. We hope this offense can get a lot of scores.
Well, he makes his first appearance of the day, standing on the 36-37 yard line. The returner for Somerset on the 18. His punting unit has been really good, led by Noah. We usually talk about his speed as a punter, which is kind of odd that a punter has speed, but he's great at punting the ball. It's a low snap, but the punt is a line drive, and it's bouncing inside the 20, and it'll sneak inside the 15, and that'll go down on the 8-yard line, picked up by Rubio. A great punt and a great job to field it on the 8-yard line.
I don't know if that was an intentional line drive punt, but it kind of worked out because the Belen guys got to get down there because he fumbled the snap, and it all worked out there. Great punt and great coverage by the defense.
He's clearly earned that 4-star rating. Got that at Cole's kicking camps. That's where most punters and kickers have to get their stars, because some punters, they don't come out on the field at all. I mean, their team is just too good. Now, Noah gets his first punt of the day. Let's see how many more times he comes out on the field. And we're looking at a brand new secondary. Some of the same guys, but a lot different. You're going to see that in those numbers out on the field, including number 10, AJ Balsera at safety, making his first start. And there's a flag down on the field. It's 24. I'm sorry. It's going to be a false start. But one of these substitutions to note, Adrian Hernandez starting at cornerback alongside Tyler Brown, who's out on the far side of the field. 2 safeties, AJ Balsera and Bryce Fitzgerald, just an overall weapon. He's playing all 3 teams. And another flag is down near where Rionda is standing. Speaking of Andres Rionda, shout out to his grandfather, who was watching all the games. And that'll be a delay of game. Now, Somerset has been really backed up. What do you do here, Bobby?
Just try, Davion can get a safety here in G, so just try and run the ball up the middle and hope you get 2 or 3 yards for some room.
Sorry, that was an offsides on Belen. That'll move him back up to the 8-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Somerset, 2 receivers. Similar set to what Belen used on their last possession, except they're looking to throw immediately, and it's almost picked off by Andres Rionda. He got his hands up. I think the ball went right through his hands.
Yeah, I mean, 3 people could have picked it off there, but it was just really great defense there by Adrian Hernandez. The reason Belen's running 2 safeties today is because this is a really speedy, although they're not big, team, and they want to make sure they don't get burned in coverage. And I think AJ and Bryce are the perfect guys out there. They have the speed to cover those deep balls.
And a little bit of confusion here. Who's on who? AJ Balsera playing the man in the slot. But it's a run. And he stopped immediately. He'll take it to the 9-yard line, a 1-yard pickup. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why are some of these guys coming out on the field? We don't see them a lot. Well, a lot of it comes down to not an injury, but a virus. Omar Ortega has got really sick. He had to eventually make a visit to the hospital. He's now home. He's been home all week. So send your prayers up to him. We don't know if he can play at all for the rest of the year. This is really bad. Of course, it's very difficult with all the schoolwork. So prayers up to Omar, who is watching this right now. Thank you, Omar, and supporting his team in whichever way he can. Two receivers to the right side of the quarterback. He's dropping back. He's stepping up, and he's going to get sacked down on the 5-yard line, and the pass rush has been lethal. This one's Davion Dixon. We've talked a lot about him already.
You try and double team G, you get hit by Davion. You try and double team Davion, you get hit by G. There's no way you could stop this D-line. It's pretty OP.
Davion Dixon with the sack. He had a safety in that Fairfield game, if I'm correct. That was him. And this puts the punting unit in a really weird position. Somerset, this could get blocked quite easily here, so watch for it. Pressure up the middle, and it didn't get blocked, but that ball traveled maybe 15, 20 yards. Belen's going to start with the ball on the 16-yard line. That was an interesting punt.
A great catch there by number 55 for Somerset. He saved the bounce that could have put them at the 1.
That's pretty funny there. Now, this is all that Belen needs. Red zone offense. This red zone offense has struggled. They've been quite inconsistent, and that's a way to describe their offense. Their offense has just been inconsistent. They'll put together a great drive down the field, and then they'll go 3 and out. Why is that happening, Bobby?
I think that, you know, it's a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes, missed blocks, and stuff like that. That it's very easy fixes that can lead to a lot of touchdowns later in the year.
Well, Belen's offense is out on the field. I'm going to be honest, I was quite confused there. I've never seen a punt like that. That ball traveled 9 yards. I thought that the punt would get blocked. It didn't get blocked, but it traveled 9 yards. I'm not sure which one's worse. Miatis, the handoff to Alexander, who's got the outside. He's got great blocks, and he's going to score a touchdown. Kamani Alexander takes the 6-0 lead. Second time into the end zone. This will be the first one that actually counts.
There were 6 guys on that side of the field. Great blocking with Kamani's speed. They could not tackle him. A great touchdown for Belen.
How about Anthony Rubio sealing the outside? A great block. He does have an offer for football, actually, but it's not for his blocking. It's great to show that he can block, too. That's a big part in the running game. Of course, Kamani Alexander showing off that speed and getting to the outside. An easy score. Lucas Avino is the kicker. Matthew Barturin, the holder. Michael Delgado, your long snapper. It's a good snap, good hold, good kick. Belen takes the 7-0 lead with 6:14 to go in the first, and we will be back in a minute. So Belen, following the one-play drive, Adrian Muelle is set to kick, the sophomore, and it's a boom of a kick. And it bounces, it stays in bounds. Somerset thought it was going to go out of bounds. That's going to put him in a tough position where he's got to make a good return, but he gets stopped. That's Ethan Barosella making the tackle on the 11-yard line.
Well, freshman, tight end, turned linebacker. Him and Camden have done great this year, stuffing up the run. And, you know, they weren't starting at the beginning of the year, but now they are. They really proved themselves, and they're doing really great here today and every other game.
So staying out on the field, the two cornerbacks, and we've seen a lot of cornerback rotation. Adrian Hernandez now getting his first shot at starting. He hasn't played a lot of meaningful time this year out on the field. So far, he's looked good. One route, one time they threw to him, he locked it up pretty well. Let's see what he can do. He's matched up against the receiver right now. It's going to be a run, though, to Tyler Brown's side, and he's tripped up by Lucas Amaya.
Well, Amaya and Victor Torres are out at linebacker outside linebacker slash strong safety, and they just can do everything, you know. Almost had a pick there earlier by Amaya, and He can cover, he can tackle, he can do anything.
And a great shot there of our defensive line. Probably the strongest part of our team. Multiple offers just between two players. Davion Dixon, G. These other guys cannot be forgotten. We'll get to them in a moment. The throw is over the head. And we're going to get to the other guys. Andres Rionda went in completely unblocked. Quarterback felt the pressure, threw it over his head. Good play by Rionda. He's having a great start to this game. The other defensive lineman, Darian Torres, the defensive tackle. Now, he hasn't played a whole ton this year at that position because he started off at fullback, switched over to defensive tackle. So this team has seen a lot of rotation at that defensive tackle position. Today it is Darian starting. 4 receivers out and a running back. Trips to the quarterback's right. Rolling out to his right. Feeling some pressure. Now going to his left. He's looking downfield. He just throws it out of bounds. And a 3 and out for Somerset. So Belen, 1 play, they score. Somerset, 3 plays, they pick up 0 yards. This defense has done a great job so far.
Well, when you have Rionda and Davion coming off one edge and you turn around the other way and you have G running at you, all you could do is throw the ball away.
That's completely right. Andres Rionda already talked about it, but he's having a great game so far. Really impressed to see what he's done and how much work he's put in. So the last punt wasn't too well. Let's see what happens here. He's got pressure. It's a high punt, not a far one. It's going to be fielded on the 33-yard line. I think we know what to expect. Belen's going to have a lot of good field position here in this game because this punter is no 4-star.
Yeah, I mean, he can sky it, but he can't really kick it that far. They should probably work with him on the sideline because when you're deep and you're in position like that, you just need to clear it out. It's not about trying to get your gunners down to tackle him. It's not about kicking the ball high in the air. It's just about getting it out of your own field position.
You're right about that, Bobby. So 3 running backs, or at least 3 guys that can play running back, are out on the field. Rubio, Bo, and Kamani. Stefan is a receiver out to the left of Miatis. Miatis, the handoff up the middle to Kamani. Sorry, it was to the outside to Kamani. I wasn't even able to catch that. A great run down to the 5-yard line.
Well, it seems like 5 outside runs here about, and a total of 50 yards on all of those, and a touchdown. You know, just 1 to Bo and the rest to Kamani. It's really working here today.
I'm going to have to say sorry on my part because I make about 1 or 2 mistakes every game. Miatis just catches me off guard. It's a fake handoff up the middle. I think it's going up the middle, and all the way on the outside, Kamani has the ball 20 yards downfield. Shows how good Miatis is when he's not throwing the ball. And he can't throw the ball too great. But it's a handoff to Bo, who's going to get it to the outside, and he's going to gritty his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. This running game has had no competition so far. 13-0. Bo Humphrey gets the score.
Well, I mean, just another reason why Bo's him. You know, Nashami just runs all over everyone, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And after that score, the extra point unit is set to come back out. Lucas Avino set to kick once again. Bartern remains the holder, along with Delgado, the long snapper. Kick good, hold good. And Belen will put up 14 points so far in the first. We still have 4.5 minutes to go. This offense looks unstoppable, but a lot of that is to great field position and great play from the defense. We will be back in a minute. And the kick is up and away. The lefty kicker sends it. It'll bounce on the 10 and bounce out of bounds. That'll be a flag. So Somerset will have some good field position to start. They'll start on the 40.
I mean, I don't know if that field position will stay because they've had a lot of penalties. There's been a lot of sacks, a lot of stuffed runs. So they'll probably get moved back and have to punt again because Belen's defense is playing lights out today.
This offense, I'm gonna be frank, just hasn't played very good. Had some high expectations for this Somerset team. I expected a good game. Right now, it's all Belen. And number 13 out on the field, Tyler James, is in at cornerback, taking the place of Adrian Hernandez. So his time out on the field is short-lived. TJ making the switch from wide receiver to corner. Bobby, why is that?
I mean, I don't think he was getting a lot of play at wide receiver, and he's really good. He's really fast. He's really athletic. So he's going to use that ability to play defense, and hopefully he can get a lot of picks and tackles because we know he can.
5 out wide. He's throwing it to the curl. TJ's side, and he makes the tackle there. But he will pick up 6 yards on the play. He stepped out of bounds before TJ can make the tackle there. Now, I'm not sure if Belen was fully expecting that. They were kind of panicking and running around at the last second. 2 receivers were completely unguarded until the ball was snapped. Finally, Lucas Amaya and Camden picked that up. Got kind of worried there, Bobby.
Yeah, I think that's why TJ dropped because there was no safety on top of him, so he had to cover that deep third.
Good job by TJ. He's in press position now against his receiver. 4 receivers, 1 running back. He drops back. The quarterback looking TJ's way, and it'll be caught. Down on the 46-yard line, TJ has been targeted twice, 2 catches. Not the best start for the game so far, but we know he's a resilient player, and he's got to pick it up soon. Now, a real benefit of having a wide receiver play at cornerback is it gives you a completely different look. You kind of know how the receiver's going to run their routes, and that could give you a better idea of how to jump the route.
Yeah, Javi, that's why they probably have Bryce out there on defense. Bryce is kind of like the general out there. He makes all the calls, and he can also make plays. So he's smart, and he can also make tackles.
And a good run by Somerset. That'll take it out to the 32-yard line, pick up another first down. And I was not too kind about Somerset's offense. Took it personal. They're driving downfield. 3 straight first downs so far.
First down and 10 from the Wolverine 34-yard line.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 33-yard line. Somerset sticking with 4 receivers. This set has worked quite well for them, but now they're looking at trips on the right. Let's see how Belen responds to this. It's a run to the outside, and he's making a cutback, trying to make his way around. He slips, somehow dives forward. He's able to pick up a yard. It was a wild run. He's only able to pick up a yard on the play. The flag is down on the field.
It looks like a holding on.
And the ref picked it up and dropped it again. See what the flag is in a moment. And the penalty is going to be on Somerset. Holding on the Silver Palms. They're going to have to back up a little bit more. Bobby, are you expecting a pass here?
I mean, I think Belen is too because they just went light. They subbed out some of the heavier guys. They put in lighter guys, try and get some speed out there. They put in Samir Lolo, the fullback, at defensive tackle. And, he used to play D-tackle. He moved to fullback. He missed a year of football. He came back to it, and he's a force out there.
Well, looking at 4 receivers here and a running back who's now a receiver. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Let's see how Belen handles this. Quarterback, immediate pressure from G. He breaks the sack. He's rolling out to his right, throwing downfield, and it goes through the receiver's hands. And another target on the guy TJ was guarding. Now, this one, I'm not sure how much I can blame him. This quarterback was running around for 20 seconds, it felt like. And it was just a really, really deep comeback that caught him off guard.
Yeah, great pressure there by Samir and by G. He just missed the tackle there. A really great play by the D-line.
Yeah, comebacks like those, you don't necessarily pick up on them immediately. You need to have a lot of time at the cornerback position to know how to play it. That goes along with the idea with the out and up. It's a very dangerous route, and if you're not experienced at the position, that can catch you easily off guard.
Well, a lot of rotation today at D-line. You know, Brito and, yeah, I think that Shikamehe will come in, and they switch out Samir and Rionda.
The quarterback throwing it on the screen pass. He's breaking tackles, and he gets brought down from behind, grabbing the jersey and making the tackle, Camden Walters, the sophomore.
The gain is 15 yards. Third down.
Well, now it's 3rd and 5. Even though getting stopped back there, you know, it was 2nd and 15, I believe. They're back and they're within 5. If they could get the first down here, they can go for a touchdown. But you know, they're still in field goal position. I don't know how deep their kicker can kick though.
So 3rd down for the Somerset offense. 3rd and 4. 4 receivers and a running back. They've been really sticking with the set all drive. But Belen is going to jump off sides. That was Jake Amejo, the senior.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty on
The
the
QB, if you're wondering, Tristan Garodo for Somerset. And Jake is going to get subbed out for the play. Mike Suarez coming in. And just a tough play for Belen, giving up the first down. They were in great position, possibly to hold them to a field goal. Four receivers. 2 of them are set for screens. He'll throw it to the one on the right. Number 12 making another catch. And this tackle made by Lucas Amaya.
I think Belen thought that Somerset was going to run the ball there because they put in Mike Suarez, they usually put him in goal line, you know, to fill up the gap. He's a big body, you know. He could fill up maybe 2 gaps, you know, push 2 linemen back and get the tackle.
Yeah, Wallace with the catch there.
2nd down and 3.
As we're taking a look here at the Somerset team, lined up on the far right hash. Midfield marker. I'm not sure what you call it, to be honest. 4 receivers out on the field, but they're running it. No, it's a quarterback keeper. Trying to get to the outside, and a tackle is made. This one, TJ's best defensive play. It's a tackle that will make Somerset lose a yard.
Quarterback number 7, Tristan Corono, is sacked on the
Well,
play.
3rd down again and less than 5, so they're able to move the ball, but they're not really able to get the first downs until 3rd down. So if Belen can hold them here, it'd be really great because I don't know how much of a leg their kicker has.
So that will go down in the stat sheet as a sack. TJ's first sack of the career. Plays wide receiver, mind you. Good play by TJ. And a brand new formation here for Somerset. Let's see how it works. He's throwing it on the out route. Good block to the outside, making a move on Victor Torres, but he's able to secure the tackle, brought down on the 6-yard line.
AJ Balsera comes back in. They took him out to run single high safety, and it wasn't really working out, so now I think they're going to go back to double safety.
Yeah, putting in your best defensive players right now. Andres Rionda makes his way back out onto the field. AJ Balsero, who started this game at safety, continuing to play at that position. So Somerset struggled early on, and we know it's not a great punting unit. And we will get back to that thought in a moment because it is the end of the first quarter. Belen is up 14-0, but Somerset is threatening 6 yards from the end zone.
Touchdown run, in the first half of the quarter. Then the second half of the quarter, he set up the Bo Humphrey touchdown run, and he also had another big play that did unfortunately get called back on the first drive. Stephen Borrero did get a lot of targets on the first drive, so Miatis is looking to pass to him. On defense, Davion Dixon has a sack. TJ James made 2 clutch tackles just now. The defense is holding them pretty well here down in the red zone, but they still got a lot of work to do. It is currently 1st down and 7 on the goal line, and they just got to really finish it out and clutch it up. Back to you guys in the booth.
Back out onto the field. Somerset's offense. It's a run up the middle. And he will get stopped quite quickly, only able to pick up a yard on the play. So stop made early on. There was a couple guys in there making that tackle. One of them, Davion Dixon, I'm pretty sure. There was about 4 different guys making that tackle there. Just a bad run play overall.
Well, pretty surprising here. Jacob Garcia comes in, and, you know, he was an all-star last year on JV, and for all that, he got moved up to varsity. He hasn't really seen the field except for special teams this year, but he's a really great tackler, and he has some speed on him.
If you're hearing that music, it's the student section going crazy. And we'll get back to that in a minute, as this tackle is clearly made by Gavin Marcelin. Only able to pick up a yard on the play. 3rd and 4, but this student section is getting really excited, and it's full of people here, all in orange shirts.
Well, sadly, the reason they're in orange is because of the late senior Anthony Perotti, and his family and him are in our hearts tonight in his memorial game.
This game is dedicated to Anthony Perotti. Bobby, thank you for bringing that up. Let's see if Belen can get the stop here. 3rd and 4. 4 yards to goal. And it'll be a timeout now by Somerset. So Somerset got to rethink their decisions, and we will be back to see what they call.
Well, welcome back. If you saw that jump there by Davion Dixon, he was not offsides because he wasn't in the neutral zone, so he's able to get back before the ball snapped. Really lucky there, and Belen doesn't have to get a penalty.
So a throw to the outside. It's caught, leaning forward towards the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown for Somerset. The out route combined with the blocking is able to put up 6 on the board, and that'll cut the lead to 1 possession, 14-6, pending the extra point.
A really good play call there. Belen was expecting the run. They did a play action pass and out there, and it didn't look like the corner was ready. AJ Balsera had to make the tackle, but it was too late, too close to the end zone, and he was able to get in.
I think they were expecting a run play as they did on the first 2, but they pass it, and it works quite well. Good play call by Somerset. Belen has had quite a few of those today that have put us in good positions, but they've struggled so far on defensively, at least on this drive, sorry. And the kick is blocked. And I can't even tell you who blocked it. Gavinch was back there, Davion, Amaya, and Andres Rionda. I think that's the beauty of our kick block. It is incredible.
Yeah, they have a couple kick blocks this year. One against Fairfield, which was really big because that missed PAT helped them win the game and not put it into overtime.
You're completely right about that. And now set to kick off. 14-6, it's just a 1-possession game, but Belen extending it to 2 possessions early here would be big. It's been quite a high-scoring game here. A lot of these games aren't, but this one, 14-6. Love to see the way the offense is performing. Now, they haven't necessarily put together a long drive. All of them have been with great field position. So I think the question is, how do they do when they're starting back on their own 25?
Well, yeah, even though the offense put up 2 touchdowns here, it feels like we've barely seen them today. I mean, they did one really good drive for a touchdown, and the other was just great field position.
Yeah, Somerset has outgained Belen in yardage today. That just shows to you how good our field position has been. And the kick is up, and it's going to be a short one again. This one fielded by Darian, and Darian Torres showing off that fullback speed. He took it up to the 44-yard line.
I mean, well, even when you think they weren't going to get it, again, Belen with great field position, only 5 yards away from the 50.
And love to see the senior section out here chanting Darian's name. And of course, this offense, we got to get back to it. Anthony Rubio making his way back onto the field. We can talk about his season so far. He's been a great running back.
Well, whenever the offense seems dormant, Rubio's always the one to spark it, you know, whether it's a short pass for a lot of yards or just getting that running game going. Him and the O-line are really the major boost for this offense when they seem down.
3 receivers out on the field. We'll get to who they are in a moment. But it's a run to Rubio. Rubio to the outside. He cuts it back in, and he's tackled down by number 2, the cornerback. And that will actually be Cayman Donat, who's had 2 tackles today.
The ball carrier number 1, Anthony Rubio.
And the receivers that were out on the field were Matthew Barturin, Nicholas Smith, along with Stefan Borrero. A combination that we don't see a lot of. Matthew and Nico, on the bottom of your screen here. Matthew in the slot. Nico, the bigger receiver, finds himself on the outside. It's a handoff to Rubio to the outside. He's cutting it upfield, got some good blocks, making some good cuts, some good moves, and he goes down on the 42-yard line.
Even though there's a fast Somerset team, Belen's running backs are just so much faster. When they get around that edge, you know, it's an easy 10 yards.
So Belen is going to change some things here. They're going to pull Rubio for Kamani to give him a little bit of a break. Kamani is the leading rusher of this team, though. He has over 80 rushing yards per game. He's put together a good season so far.
Well, if you're wondering why Matty B's out there, it's because he's an overall athlete. He's like the Taysom Hill of this Belen team. He plays quarterback, holder, safety, wide receiver like you see now. You know, and I think that comes from him playing lacrosse. He's a really great athlete.
Throwing it to Jason Felix on the out route, and it's dropped. And Ja has had his series of drops this year. It's been really difficult for him to fix that. Now, usually that is followed up by a catch, so that is some good news for him. Just a little bit to clean up there.
Well, finally, we see Zach Sunderland, who's had a great year. And after that first return, I thought they were going to put him in more, but now he comes in for the first time.
I just love to see the receiver rotation. Getting a look at Nico Smith, Matthew Barturin, and now Zach Sunderland, Bryce Fitzgerald, and Stefan Borrero. Getting a lot of these guys in can make for fresh legs. Stefan's got a one-on-one situation. Miatis throws to him. It's going to be behind him, though. Throw just barely missed. Stefan had a one-on-one situation after that. If he put a move on that safety, he would have taken that to the end zone.
Well, yeah, Stefan got right in between the corner and the safety. Miatis would have had to make a perfect pass there to needle it through the 2 defenders, but he wasn't able to make it there. Hopefully he can try here again on 3rd and long.
And they're sticking with the same couple guys. Kamani will get subbed out for Anthony Rubio. So some interesting substitutions here. A lot of rotating between Rubio and Alexander, and that makes for a lot of receivers getting some play, and you know I love that. Miatis, handoff to Rubio. Rubio taking to the outside. He's going to get stuffed up quite quickly, but makes a move, so he will lose a yard rather than 3.
2-yard loss on the play.
I mean, Belen has tried running it outside, and, you know, they started to figure it out. They shifted all the linebackers out to whatever side, the opposite of the running back, because they know that's how you do an outside run. They could try a counter here, maybe go to the weak side. Maybe they could get a lot more yards, but it's 4th down now, so out comes Noah for a second time.
Back to receive for Somerset, number 8.
Well, after this punt, a quick little announcement to make, but we'll focus on this punt first. Noah Zumpano, the punter, talked about him earlier, 4-star recruit, 20 in the nation, 7 in Florida. Noah drops it. He's still got plenty of time and a nice punt. This one will be inside the 20. It'll bounce towards the 10-yard line, down on the 11. So a good punt by Noah, pinning Somerset in bad position. And we're going to take this time to make a quick announcement. At this time, we would like to recognize senior Adrian Rodriguez. Earlier today, Adrian broke the school record for lowest score with a score of 4 under 68. as the varsity golf team competed in the South Florida PGA High School Championship. Congrats to Adrian.
First down and 10 from the Somerset 11.
It's really impressive there. I mean, I don't know a ton about golf, but that's really impressive to see here, and love to see how all these sports are succeeding in their own way.
Well, if that was a little bit closer to the first down, the ball, I mean, on the punt there was no one rushing Noah. He might have taken off there. Maybe they should try a fake next time if they're closer to the first down.
Throwing it up, and TJ almost makes the interception. He just dropped it, but still going to be an incompletion. A great play by TJ. We talked about the fact that he's going to have good hands. He's got some of the best hands on this team. The least thing I would expect is for him to drop an interception, but it did happen. It was just a bit out of his reach. Good play by him to make the pass breakup.
Well, usually when you're playing receiver, you're catching the balls over the head, but when you're playing DB, it's right in your face. You know, maybe he's not used to that. Hopefully he gets used to it and get a lot of picks this year.
And the quarterback will hand it off. Up the middle, he's going to get rocked almost immediately by the linebackers. Ethan Barosella hitting him real tough. And that'll put them in a position of 3rd and 6. Somerset is facing another 3 and out right now.
Gain on the play is 4 yards. It's 3rd down.
I mean, when we're talking about the defense, it gets pretty boring because we're always talking about the same guys at D-line. No, there's always stuffing up the gaps, and no team can really get the run game going on them.
You're right about that, Bobby. 4 receivers and 1 running back. Trips to his right. He's throwing it, hit as he throws, and that'll cause the pass to be missed. It's a tough hit. I think that was Gavin Schmarsling with the hit. Lucas Amaya with the coverage on that receiver. And now set for the punt, and quite disrespectful. They're lined up on the 35-yard line, set to field this, only expecting a 15-yard punt. This punter has had his fair share of struggles. Fitzgerald and Rubio are set to return. I'm not sure how much they would want to return it, though. With a lot of hang time, they're going to have a couple gunners right on there. Right in their face masks. It'll be tough to make a catch right there. The snap is up, and Gavinch got a piece of that, and it's bouncing out. Continues to bounce past the 40 to the 41. I'm pretty sure Gavinch just got a little bit of a chunk of that because that looked really weird.
Belen again with great field position. I mean, they should have a lot more scores here today. I don't know what's going wrong because their running game's working. It just seems like there's a lot of mistakes happening. So they're getting pushed back to like 2nd and 20, 3rd and long, and they're not able to get the first downs.
Well, Belen's offense makes their way back out onto the field. Jason Felix staying out. And John, mind you, dropped the pass on the last possession. I love to see him still out there to show that the coaches have confidence in him. Means a lot here. 1 receiver, 1 wing. That's Darian Torres, who's wide open downfield. Miatis can't find him. He checks it down to Alexander. Penalty markers down. That might be a legal lineman downfield as number 56, and that is Hector Saldana.
Well, that passing play is always lethal because you expect to run out of Belen, and then they hit you with the play action. The running back runs out into the flats, but Kamani ran it a little deep there, able to get the catch, but all that for naught because illegal man downfield.
Now, for a second there, Jason Felix and Darian Torres were both wide open downfield, and that's why I brought it up. They could have easily had a touchdown with just 1 block. Darian definitely could have had it. Wide open in the middle of the field. I'm not sure what the safety was doing. Miatis does go for the safe read. Now it doesn't really matter because of the penalty. That was center Hector Saldana who picks up the penalty. One receiver to Miatis' left. He will hand it off up the middle. It's Kamani who will take it back up to the original line of scrimmage. Rather, a yard behind it, making it 2nd down and 11.
Well, that's something rare we see when Kamani runs into the pile. That O-line usually has a great push. He fights for an extra couple yards, but the pile actually gets pushed back. So a lot of strength coming from the Somerset team, but Belen's offense is really handling it well today.
Right about that. Miatis looking to see what he calls here. 2nd out and 11. You're still able to run the ball, not too far yet, but if you're not able to pick up any yards here, you're going to imagine they're in throwing position. Stefan, another one-on-one situation with a cornerback. See if they look his way. Miatis hands it off to Rubio, who's cutting it upfield. Rubio, a nice spin move, drops his shoulder, and he's able to get past the first down. Down on the 30, and Rubio's still up on his feet. They marked him down quite a bit ago. And a great run by Anthony Rubio.
Rubio's never fearless, even though not being that tall like Kamani is. But he is big, though. He's very strong, lower his shoulder, pushing the defender back and able to run for a couple more yards.
And it's an official timeout. And with 5:35 left to go, we will be back in a minute. Miatis rolling out, throwing downfield to Stefan. He's got him by his man, but it's going to be picked off. And flags are out. I think that'll be a pass interference, so I don't think this return will matter. But in case it does, he's brought down on the 11. Crowd already chanting, "You can't do that." Signature senior section chant.
Well, the referee should have thrown extra flags there because Bo got blocked in the back, and that's really messed up. You can't do that type of thing to Bo.
This team got out, and they snapped the ball real quick. We weren't necessarily ready for that. And the penalty is going to be pass interference on Somerset. On number 2 again. And that's Cayman Donat. So we talked about him quite a bit for a couple tackles. This one not for a good reason. 15-yard penalty. In high school, I do not believe they do spotted the foul, and they do not. That'll put it at the 15-yard line. Bobby, 15 yards away from the score. Are you just going for the end zone right now?
With this field position, you just try and run it again. You know, you're not too close where you have to run the ball to score. You could throw a fade up here, but the running game's working. Why not stick with it?
And that's what they'll do. Hand off to Bo to the outside. Bo just gets by and knocked out of bounds on the 10-yard line. A pickup of 5. So whenever they get inside the 20, it's immediate handoffs, always to the outside. Somerset has not seemed to pick up on that idea, as each of them have at least gone for 5 yards.
Again, hitting that outside, and, you know, it just seems to be always working. Only stopped once here today.
Making their way back out into the field, the Belen offense. 3 running backs. Bo at the wing position. A fake to Rubio. Miatis rolling out. He's got Kamani wide open. And Kamani will spin into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. And Kamani's second of the day. He has been an unstoppable force all day. And it continues. With 4:50 to go, Belen takes a lead 20-6.
Well, they hit that same pass play, and no illegal man downfield this time. Works again. Easy touchdown for Belen.
As the offense makes their way off the field, special teams makes their way on the field. Michael Delgado, the long snapper. Matthew Barturin, the holder. That's Lucas Avino, the kicker. Avino, 2 of 2 so far. And we can make that 3 of 3. Lucas Avino has delivered the leading score for the Wolverines, other than quarterback Andres Miares. As Belen gets ready to kick off, we will be back in a minute.
Now out to kick Noah Zumpano, the brand new 4-star as of yesterday. We're really proud of him.
And Zumpano set to kick. This one's going to be a squib, and it's going to go through the returner's hands. He'll pick it up, just gets by a tackle, try to bounce it to the outside, and he's slammed by Lucas Amaya. And a mean hit by Amaya, knocking him back at the 15-yard line.
Amaya's one of the top 3 guys I would not want to get hit by on this team.
Yeah, I think the other 2 guys might be Lucas and Amaya. This guy hits really hard. He's an incredible hitter and a great leader of this defense.
That was good, Javi. I like that. That was funny.
So Chanley Pierre making his way out into the field, a linebacker, and he's playing left outside linebacker. Amaya playing the inside on the right. Sorry, outside on the right. And it's a screen pass to the running back, and he'll get tackled quite quickly by Tyler James. So TJ started off, I'm going to be honest, quite rough. But ever since then, he's gotten better every single play. That's something I love to see. Growth, not only between games at practice, but during the game.
I mean, you put someone in a new position, they obviously won't do well their first try, but, you know, almost had that pick, 2 covered passes, and a sack, believe it or not.
TJ has not allowed a completion since that pass breakup. And they're throwing it the other way to Tyler Brown, and almost caught, but Tyler Brown is able to get his hand in there and force the incompletion. I know we shouldn't be talking about what if catches, but if that catch was made, that might rival with George Pickens' catch last night. That would have been an incredible adjustment. Tyler Brown did a good job. Quarterback put it where almost only the receiver could get it. Tyler Brown just able to slip his arm in and knock the ball out. His corners have been quite inconsistent. Tyler Brown's been the only guy starting every single game. Other than that, he's been constantly rotating. We saw Adrian Hernandez today. We saw TJ. We saw a couple other guys too.
Well, I don't want to jinx it, but Belen's defense today has been lights out, except for that one drive.
Well, quarterback is feeling immediate pressure. Gavin Schmarslin, and he's going to force the ball downfield and out of bounds. So, Bobby, no jinx. It's going to be 4th down and 5. Set to punt. With 3:48 to go, Belen has just enough time to drive the ball downfield and leave Somerset with, hopefully, 000s on the clock and no opportunity to score any more points. And Belen has done a great job today in going downfield and scoring. Now, they won't have to go far downfield because both of our returners are lined up at the 40. Only expecting a 15-yard punt once again.
I mean, I feel bad for him at this point. You're just flaming him out here, Javi.
It's not my fault. Let's just check this punt as evidence. That went 15 yards far. And Rubio catches it. I think he actually dropped it and landed on it once again. And another stellar punt, traveling 7 yards. Sorry, 12 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you were wrong in your prediction. It went less than 15.
It's not very good. Somerset, some issues with punting. It's been quite clear. Might have to do with the fact that the punter's staying out on the field right now. I mean, is this guy a safety too? This is quite interesting.
Well, Belen's lucky to have a punter because most teams just put, their quarterback usually out there, a punter, their safety or something like that. And they got a 4-star in Noah.
Well, I just looked at the stat sheet. I know why he's not punting too great. He's a quarterback and a strong safety, and that's why he's still out on the field. Now, strong safety, for a strong safety, he's playing quite deep. And off to Kamani. He's got a couple good blocks, one of them from Anthony Rubio, but not able to get by. She's going to go back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard before. Clock rolling, 3:30 to go. Belen has got to travel 30 yards to score a touchdown.
Well, still plenty of time for Belen to put this game up by 3 scores. I mean, going up to half, up 3 touchdowns, well, more than 3 touchdowns, actually, because they missed that PAT, it got blocked, so it'd be really great if Belen let that happen.
Well, receiver out on the field now is Zach Sunderland. On the other side, it's Kamani Alexander, who's now in motion. It's a handoff. It's a double to Bo, and Bo cuts it upfield. He's only able to pick up 3 on the play, but a nice explosive run by Bo Humphrey.
Gain on the play is 3 yards.
When we talk about the O-line, we usually just say the O-line, but they do a great job, so I think we should put their names out there. Number 50, Tony Gonzalez. Number 77, AJ Paredes. Number 73, Christian Cueto. Number 70, Aiden de Oliveira. And number 56, Hector Saldana. Thank you guys for blocking for all of our great running backs.
Yeah, they don't get enough credit. Not from us, not from anybody. That goes for all offensive linemen. And on the offensive line, Gabriel Sixto. He's lined up as a tight end right now. And Miatis got some pressure. He throws it to the outside, and the pass is broken up. It was intended for Zach Sunderland. That'll put Belen at a 4th and 8. So if the offense does stay on the field, which they are at the moment, they got to pass for a first down. They got to pass quite far.
Well, in comes Nico Smith, and I mean, they always put him in when it seems to be 3rd and long or 2nd and long or something, so maybe they have a play dialed up where he goes deep.
Well, looks to be 3rd down. At least that's what the chain says. Oh, they changed it now. It's 4th down and 8. Smith on the outside. In the slot is Rubio, but he's throwing it. He's throwing an incomplete pass. And a bit over the head of Stefan Borrero. Stefan's gotten open quite a few times. The ball maybe just slipping out of Miatis' hands each and every single one of those times, because they've gone over his head quite a few times today.
I mean, again, the punter punts a terrible punt, but then gets great field position, and they do not score.
Yeah, I feel like we were a bit too harsh on the punter. He's a quarterback and a safety, so I'm not sure what you expect from him punting the ball. And we talked about this Somerset team being very thin.
Well, if you're a punter out there and you want to get a starting spot, I think you know the place to go, Somerset.
Not sure how many punters are out there watching, but in the case you are, go ahead. 5 receivers out on the field. And he's looking to the right side. He's throwing it, and the receiver is going to trip. That was number 12. That was Jonathan Ramos, 6'2". He's a junior, but Tyler Brown was all over him on that play.
I've never seen a receiver jump for a ball while on the ground. We see new things every day.
It was an impressive play in of itself. Now, that impressive play did pick up 0 yards. Still quite impressive jumping from the ground, Bobby. I'm not sure how many other guys can do that. Well, Belen showing some pressure. Gavin's got a hand on the ball, but the screen pass is still complete. That'll be a 6-yard pickup. 3rd and 4. Somerset, they're in their own territory. We shouldn't get ahead of them ourselves. But if they don't convert here, that puts them in a really tough position. So this is a must convert for Somerset. This would be a huge stop for Belen.
Well, Jack Balsera, the fullback, comes in at D-tackle. I think they should list him at D-tackle already because that's all he's played this year.
And the throw is out of bounds once again, intended for Ramos. So you're talking about what do they do on 4th down here. And I think I think that they should go for it. I mean, you're in a position where you're down 21-6. You've got nothing to lose at this rate other than the game. Go for it. That's all. That's the way I'm thinking. Bobby, what do you think?
I mean, they could try punting again with this punter, maybe give him another shot, but Belen doesn't really have much time to score, so they should just try and pin him back here, you know.
Now, unless if it's a fake punt, they're not going for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could really pin Belen back here.
I'm not sure how much field position you're gaining on a punt. And how about this? The punt, it travels 20 yards. An outstanding accomplishment by the Somerset punter. Maybe a new career high. I mean, we'll never know. He could just be having a bad game. Now, it did travel 25 yards, so congratulations for that. But it did have a backspin on it, so it rolled back. An 18-yard punt, and a rough day continues for that young man over there.
I mean, it's been a rough day for him at quarterback, at safety, at punter, because, you know, at quarterback, he's getting hit almost every play by Davion and G and the rest of the D-line. And at strong safety, he's getting ran all over by Kamani and Bo and Rubio. So, tough day for him.
First out of 10 Wolverines from the Wolverines.
Yeah, he hasn't got a lot of playing time at quarterback. He's actually gotten some snaps at receiver. I did notice that on one of these last plays. So, kind of seems to be a jack of all trades. He's not very good at some of them, though. 5 receivers out. Miatis is going to have to throw. Miatis is looking to his right. He's got pressure. He's trying to dive through 2 defenders, but he can't. And Belen is pinned back. Really back. Now, the good thing is the clock should run out before Somerset can get the ball back with a minute to go. Now, Somerset will call a timeout. And a 10-yard loss. Let's see what Belen follows up with. And back out onto the field. Miata set the throw. This time he's got protection from Kamani, and the catch is made by Ja, who breaks the tackle and is able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. So, as mentioned it earlier, Ja sometimes drops his first pass, but he's back, and this time he's breaking tackles better than ever.
Belen does not look to be in a hurry. Oh, now they are. It looks like everyone's walking around, but not a lot of time left. What do you try here, Javi?
Well, they're all running downfield. Miatis is throwing downfield to Bryce Fitzgerald, who makes the grab down on the 20. And a huge play that puts them in field goal range with 28.6 seconds to go. Belen calls the timeout. They'll have some time for at least a couple shots to the end zone. But what a play by Andres Miatis. And a great catch from Bryce Fitzgerald. Let's give credit to him, too. He got a lot of separation and was able to make the catch while getting hit.
Well, all of Miatis' big plays this year have been deep balls, you know, a couple to Stefan. And I think this is Bryce's first deep catch this whole year. And it's a really great throw, you know, 30-yard throw. And, you know, comeback catch for Bryce. He was able to spot the ball and catch it.
So as the offense makes their way back out onto the field, Nico Smith out there, Rubio, Kamani, that's Stefan, and Ja, your possible pass catchers. Maybe a run here. I mean, Belen does have a timeout. They can run it, call a timeout, see how it works. The run game has worked quite well. But guess who's one-on-one? It's Stefan on the bottom of your screen.
I would try that pass play that Kamani scored on again. Everyone's always wide open on that play.
Miatis is throwing it, strong arms it over the head of Nicholas Smith. And Smith is yet to bring in a catch. I'm not sure if I would blame that one on him, though. Just a bit over his head. And he was also surrounded by 3 defenders. Went right into the soft spot of the zone. But if he sat there, he would have taken a hard hit.
Well, I know this is a little off topic, but TJ looks really happy on the sideline. That's great to see from him because, he usually looks upset out there because he's not getting a lot of playing time on wide receiver. And, he's really happy out here today, getting to play defense, basically getting the start. He's played every drive but one. A lot of tackles, a sack, almost a pick. A great game for him today.
Miatis got 1 running back and 1 tight end. 3 receivers, but he's going to step up. Miatis is going to take off, and Miatis takes a tough hit to the 15 is where he falls. 15 seconds, and the clock is running. 12-11, and a timeout now by Belen. No need to criticize, but I feel the timeout was kind of late. As 10 seconds to go, 3rd and down. I feel like you could have taken a shot at the end zone, burned some clock, and then gone for the field goal.
Well, Miatis didn't took the ball there, and I got scared, but he took the hit, and he was able to set up Belen for 5 more yards to make the field goal, which we know Lucas Avino can hit. They didn't give him a shot last year twice on 4th down. I wouldn't say it cost him the game, but it would have been a better chance to win. So let's...
Lucas Avino to complete the field goal.
Avino, the lefty kicker. He's got about no rush, and that kick is no good. They're saying it's wide right. So the kick no good. 3.4 seconds left on the clock. 21-6. If Somerset wants to put up some good points, it's going to be on some miracle of a play because their offense, other than 1 drive, just has not looked very good.
Well, barely a miss there. I thought he made it, but he kicked it so high in the air, it was really hard to tell. It went just right over the left pole.
First down and 10.
And let's take a look here at the guys coming out, playing deep coverage here. Bryce Fitzgerald, Matthew Barturin. Barturin, the senior, one of those guys in between a couple colleges right now, filling out his college applications. So between UF, FSU, Clemson, and Neil.
Well, this just slipped my mind. I forgot this. Bryce the other day got an offer from Syracuse as we go into halftime. I just felt the need to mention that. It just slipped my mind.
Yeah, well, you saw it just a couple plays ago on that bomb. Bryce is a player that can do it all. He plays offense, he plays defense, he plays basketball. I'm sure he can play another sport. He's an athletic player to say the least. And we're going to send you down to our halftime show in just a minute.
Welcome back, Wolverines. The score is currently 21-6. The Wolverines are looking good in this first half. Henry, tell us about the major contributors on offense, the point scorers.
All right, then. You know exactly who the biggest impact is in the game. It's been Kamani and Bo. Bo's had a great half. Kamani's had a fantastic offense this game, and Bo's been great too. Yars has been missing some targets, but overall, our offense is looking really, really good.
Yeah, and another thing I would like to point out was Zumbano. He is 20th in the nation. Our kicking team is great. Zumbano he's fourth in the state, and he's doing very well. 4 stars and 4th in the state. Another one is Lucas. Lucas has been playing very well. He kicked 2 field goals.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did just miss a field goal now, but he's still been playing well.
He's been playing very well, and Adrian Mue has also been playing very well. The other punter has been struggling. I think the ball has gone maybe 40 yards. No, sorry, not even. Like maybe 20 or 30 yards. He's been doing a high punch, but not very accurate.
Yeah, on defense, we have really been shutting the Stallions out. Davion had a sack in the first quarter. Tyler Brown had an amazing bat down in the second quarter. TJ James has been really a really big part of this defense here. First time ever playing defense, and he's really playing the part. Like, he looks like he's been doing this for his whole football career. I think the defense has been playing really well overall, and we just need to keep it up because that's the key to winning this game.
Like we said before, Kamani Alexander has been playing very well. I mean, I talked to him during the game, and he was telling me that he's hyped. Like he told me in the interview before, he said he's hyped physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. He is hyped. He's ready to play.
Exactly. I also want to mention that Bryce Fitzgerald, although there hasn't been a touchdown yet, there's been some pretty good plays with him. He's had a deep pass. He's been a great kick return. And overall, it's just our team's looking hot. We've had 3 touchdowns so far, and they've had 1 with a bad kick. Their opponent's been struggling. And, yeah, overall, we just have bigger athletes and better players.
I mean, I think the key to this game to continue to keep our foot on the pedal is we got to run the ball, because on offense, that's really been what's successful. 1 touchdown for Bo Humphrey, 2 touchdowns for Kamani Alexander. The ball has been moving extremely well on the ground. Miatis has not been at his best today, but that doesn't mean that he hasn't made bad throws. We really just need to put this offense together, sprinkle in passes, but really focus on that running game, because that's really what's been keeping us in this game.
Yeah, the defense has been playing very well. Offense have been also been playing very, very well. I mean, we're also talking about the fact that last week we had a little bit of a rough game. I mean, let's face it, we had a little bit of a rough game. But this week, we've been playing very well. I talked to Cheney as well. I asked him, hey, how are you doing? And he's like, you know what, I've been focusing on our mistakes from last week, and we just improve. And he told me that he is ready. He is ready to dominate, and he has been kicking some butt.
Absolutely. Players have been practicing hard in the last week, and you can tell we're putting a lot of heart out there, a lot of strength. And like I said before, defense has just been a complete unit. Overall, every decision we've made so far has been coordinated. Our players have been doing great, and I look forward to the second half of this game, to be honest. I'm pretty excited.
Thank you, Henry. And let's not mention the fact that our O-line and D-line have been just messing up, especially the D-line. Davion Dixon has been doing very well. Brennan, tell us a little bit more, because the quarterback seems to be shaken. Like, tell us a little bit more about that.
Both Gavin Marcelin and Davion Dixon have been wreaking havoc in the backfield. You look up, and the quarterback doesn't have time to throw. They're just in his face. There have been some other D tackles rotating in. Joey Toledo, Charlie Nunez, and many others. Also, Darian, who normally plays fullback too. On the edge, Rionda has also been getting some pressure. Very disciplined. We've been playing this so far. There were a couple mishaps in the first quarter. The first 2 plays were offsides, but overall, I think this is really what we need to. We need to keep working on that discipline and staying attuned.
That's pretty much everything we've covered. I mean, this is the second half, and we'll see you guys at the end of the fourth quarter.
And we are back here for another half of football in Miami at De La Cruz Stadium. The Belen Wolverines are taking on Somerset Academy Silver Palms. And mind you, Belen is winning 21-6. There's still a full half to play, so we cannot call this game wraps yet. You're going to want to stick around and see how this ends.
Well, great defense today has allowed the Belen offense to have great field position and score 3 times.
You're right about that. And kicking off now, we've had 3 different guys do it this game. It's now Muelle. Well, he'll be the 3rd guy right now when he kicks it. Number 31, Adrian Muelle, the sophomore, kicks along with Lucas Avino. Now this one is a boot. Inside the 10, but it will fall out of bounds. And a flag once again. So 2 flags, 1 on each kicker for the ball going out of bounds.
I mean, there's no wind out here today. I don't know what's wrong. Might be the ball or the tee or something like that. We usually don't see this out of the kickers, who are really great. Special teams is one of the strong points for this Belen team.
I'm willing to narrow it down to say it's not the ball's fault. So I don't think we grabbed the wrong ball. I'm not sure how often that happens, if it's ever happened. But, and what other ball can you grab, you know? It's only one type of football. I mean, did you grab a basketball, you know?
But what if it's like the ball they're used to kicking to, and I don't know, maybe it has like more air or something.
Ah. I see what you're saying, Bobby. I see what you're saying. Well,
Come
you got
on,
9 guys on the line. Handoff up the middle. He bounces it just around the tackle. He's brought down after an 8-yard pickup.
Kamani's playing corner and strong safety today. We saw that last week, him playing corner, but strong safety is a new position for him. You know, he's a big guy, he's tall. You know, we know he can hit, but can he tackle? That's the question. Let's see.
And down on the field now is Tyler Brown. Looks like he just fell down, and you got a view of him there. Trainer's going to attend to him, grabbing by his legs. We will be back with him in a minute.
Well, welcome back. Well, Jack Buster at halftime officially told me that he is now a defensive tackle. He is no longer playing fullback, but if they need him there, he said he'll be ready.
And the run to the outside. He will just get that first down. Somerset. It's been okay running the ball. Not good, not bad. And they'll pick up like 3-4 yards to carry.
First down and 10, Somerset.
Well, my question I asked before, if Kamani could tackle, answered there. You know, he makes a tackle with ease.
Yeah. Okay. 2 receivers out, 1 on each side, and a wing. Using a bit of Belen's formations here. And it's not going to trick them. A 2-3 yard pickup. Amaya was able to make the tackle once again. He's made a lot of tackles today, and he's hit quite hard on a couple of those. Surprised the fumble has not been forced yet. Talking about turnovers and Somerset, they have not forced a turnover all year. First interception was brought back. That would have been their first interception of the year. So this team really struggles to turn over the ball. That could be big for Belen later on in this game.
But Belen does not struggle getting turnovers. You know, I don't know if a sack counts, but they had a sack, a bunch of block kicks, a bunch of picks. Almost a pick today by TJ. Great defensive play by him.
And it's going to be a screen pass. Number 1, he drops it. And diving, who was going to make the tackle was Kamani. I thought he was actually going to dive and make a play on the ball there. Can't really blame him. He was coming at 100 miles an hour. Would have a really difficult adjustment to make. But that puts them in a 3rd and 8 position. Bobby, what is Belen expecting Somerset to call here?
Well, downfield throwing for Somerset has, there hasn't been any today. They might try another screen like that again, a short pass, or maybe a run, because run hasn't been too bad this drive.
Well, 4 receivers, definitely implicating a pass. 1 running back, likely just set to block. And he is, but he misses his assignment. Gavin Schmarslin breaks through, but he throws it downfield to a wide open man who's pushed out of bounds. And he goes out on the 18-yard line. And they're going to call this a complete pass on the 18. But number 12 is down. And now doing push-ups. Oh, no, he's still down. Looks to be deciding whether to be down or not. And he's struggling to get up. And an injury timeout will be back in a minute.
Should have wore orange. I wanna get away. I want. Well, I got left unmuted there, and you think it might have been a mistake, but I think it was not a mistake. Because you got to hear my beautiful voice of singing the song.
Okay, Bobby, let's calm down for a minute. It was a mistake. Let's see what happens because of that mistake. Now, 2 receivers out on the field, 2 tight ends, and a running back. Pressed up on both of these receivers. An outside release could be big. They could throw it over the heads of these receivers. As a receiver, that's what my mind is going through right now. But it's a handoff. And he's going to be tackled by Ethan Badosela. And he'll pick up a yard on the play. Now, as a receiver, whenever I'm getting pressed, my first thought is, let me try to get by, get to the outside, and throw it up over the head. And just let me run under it, make a catch on the run. That's what my mind's going through. Bobby, when you see a press, what do you think?
I mean, you always want to make that first move, that little jump step, try and catch him off guard. And what coaches teach is make every route look like a bomb until you break it. And that's really smart because the corner's going to always be on their feet.
Oh, my. It's the butt fumble without the fumble. He just ran into the butt and fell backwards. And an interesting play by number 6. I would like to say that's a play to forget. I'm not sure that he will forget that one, though. Interesting looking play. 3rd down and 7. Bobby,
Third down and
Somerset has got to be looking to pass. Am I right about that?
I mean, it worked before in that deep bomb, but I don't think that was anything Somerset. I think that was just blown coverage by Belen.
Oh, and the ball's on the floor.
fumble on the play.
And Belen thinks they have it. The coaches are signaling they have the ball. Let's see. The refs are ruling it down on the 21. Haven't ruled who's got the ball yet. And Davion Dixon does have the ball. The refs are discussing. And it will be offensive ball on the 22-yard line unless said otherwise.
Quarterback Mark
Well,
Allen on
when
the
he went to
play.
pick up the ball, he took a knee, kept his knee down. And this isn't the NFL, so you can't put your knee down without getting touched. And he's dead right there. And it actually counts as a sack for Belen. Great player. Great play there.
4th down and 14.
Well, 4 receivers out on the field. One of them is left uncovered. And now picked up by Lucas Amaya. 4th down. He's throwing it up to the end zone. And he's going down. Will there be a flag? No flags. Belen will pick up the ball on the 23-yard line. And I'm going to be honest, I think they lucked out there. I thought that should have been a penalty. Oh, no. TJ's down.
Yeah, I think that it should have been a penalty on the offense. It looks like he ran into TJ and pushed him, and that's why he fell.
This is a horrible sight, especially with how thin we are at cornerback. This is not a great sight to see. And we'll be back in a minute. It looks like he's just cramping up. With Belen's offense back out on the field, he can get a peek at TJ, who's just outside the end zone. You get a peek at Rubio, and he's going to be brought down. And, oh, number 50, hopping, bouncing, limping. He doesn't look good. Antonio Gonzalez, the 10th grader, will stay out on the field, but that didn't look so good. Tony was bouncing around, and ladies and gentlemen, Miatis is not in the game. That is Michel Musi. Mitch Musi, the fellow junior, is lined up at quarterback, and he's going to pass the ball. Miatis floats it to Soto, who makes the catch. Just a yard or so away from the first down. An interesting call for Belen.
Well, I think you got used to saying Miatis because you just said Miatis there. It's actually Mitch, you know.
Sorry about that. And Musi has a lot of energy out, making his way onto the field. And this is a player who's played football in 6th grade, and then did it in 7th, played in 8th, didn't play in 9th. I mean, he's been all over the place. But he's on the field right now. He's backup QB. He had a nice pass there to Soto. And the handoff up the middle. Now, when we talk about Musi as a quarterback, he doesn't have the big arm that Miatis does. He's more so of a 0 to 40 yard passer who's really accurate and has some level of mobility. His favorite team, his favorite player, Aaron Rodgers. So might get a look at some Aaron Rodgers-like plays here. Now, I'm not sure if Musi is Aaron Rodgers, but we're bound to see what happens here.
Well, you rarely see a backup quarterback go in on his first drive, and now they go for it on 4th down. They have a lot of trust in him, and, I guess he showed out in practice or something because this Belen. Well, it looks like they actually are going to put now. I thought they were going to let Mitch sling the rock there on 4th down.
Well, I would like to remind you, the score is 21-6. This is no blowout. It is a 2-possession game. So, an interesting decision by Belen, getting Musi some reps. We'll be back to the Wolverines offense, possibly punt unit, in a minute. And it's going to be a handoff. Kamani breaking tackles. He's got a leading blocker in Tony. And he's breaking away. Kamani inside the 20, the 10, touchdown Wolverines. His 3rd of the game. Comes on a massive play. And the Wolverines take a 27-6 lead.
Well, I thought they called that timeout to punt the ball. They put trust in Mitch. They put trust in the O-line. They put trust in Kamani. And they put trust in Belen to score a touchdown. And that's just what they did.
A 70-plus yard touchdown. What a first drive for Mitch. And what a game for Kamani Alexander. I actually got a chance to speak with him. He didn't respond, but he looked excited about the game. Gave me a little fist bump. And he was really excited. And he's got 3 touchdowns right now. He's having an incredible game.
And something he always wanted was a receiving touchdown. He gets those, but he doesn't have any this year. He gets his first one this game with 2 rushings and probably more than 100 yards, you would say, right?
Avino knocks down the kick. 4 of 4 from extra points. And Belen takes a 28-6 lead. The debut of Mitch Musi results in a touchdown. Kamani Alexander, the 75-yard run, puts 7 more on the board for the Wolverines. Lucas Avino to kick for the Wolverines after knocking down his 4th consecutive extra point of the game. There you have a view of the score. And the time, 5:44 to go in the 3rd.
When Belen is able to get the running game going, it's really hard to stop them because they're so deep at running back and all their running backs have speed. And I think all those running backs, when they have blocking like that, can score.
Let's get ready. Avino, kick is up and away. This one near the sideline, but it'll be a touchback. So Avino, who had a kick go out of bounds already, this one sneaks his way into the end zone. Starting at the 20, not great field position for Somerset, who struggled on offense. Bobby, what do they need to do to get back in this game?
Nothing has worked for them today at all, really. They had one deep catch, and that's really all their offense has done, besides that one touchdown. But I don't want to call it a fluke drive. They just got a little lucky on that drive.
Now, Adrian Hernandez has taken the spot of Tyler James, who he was standing and talking to the trainers. He now is stretching out. The good news, he was walking around all over the sideline, just getting stretched out, along with Darian Torres. Doesn't look to be anything bad, nothing to worry about. Throwing it, and it's batted up in the air, picked up by Brito. It's going to be a touchdown. The Wolverines score another touchdown, back-to-back touchdowns. This one, number 4, Javier Brito.
Well, you rarely see that, and you love to see it by the big guy on the edge. You know, Brito's super athletic, even though he has a huge frame. And one of Belen's only defensive touchdowns this year, and you love to see it off a block tip pass.
Javi Brito went up, batted the pass, made the interception, just nobody was there to tackle him. A great play by Brito, who didn't even start this game. That just truly shows how deep this defensive line is. You got guys on the defensive line that are scoring touchdowns and they're not starting. There's a lot of depth at this position. A lot of different guys that can play and play well. I'm not sure if he's going to miss a start for the rest of the season after a play like that. The snapper, Delgado. Barturin, the holder. The kicker, Avino. And it's good. So a 35-6 score here. 5:35 to go in the third. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have to bring out the running clock. Belen is up by 29 points. And we'll be back after the kickoff. Noah Zumbano, the kick. To the 10, it's dropped by the Somerset fielder. He's going to tumble down with the ball on the 18-yard line. And a good kick by Zumbano. And these Somerset players have looked simply incompetent.
I mean, yeah, a lot of mistakes for them today, but, you know, Belen just overpowering them the whole game. And out comes Jack Bolsera again at defensive tackle.
Yeah, Brito now on the sideline taking a rest after that play and that touchdown. And good news, Tyler James is back in the game at cornerback. And the handoff up the middle turns into nothing. Tackle made there by Davion Dixon. We've seen a lot of substituting normally in games, but a lot of the starters are still in up 29. Yet we've pulled our QB. So an interesting decision. What's going on? Is Miatis injured? Is he just tired? Are the coaches just giving Musi a chance?
I mean, I wouldn't know. He's only had one drive, so, you know, they don't have much to see yet, so he'll probably stay in. They want to see a little bit more of what he could do.
Miatis' helmet off on the sideline. And the pass is now batted down by Gavin Schmarsland. Thought he might have had a chance to pick it up and run into the end zone. That looks to be a one-time thing. 3rd and 10. This Somerset offense had that one really good drive, and since then, they've fallen off a cliff. That's just one way to put it. These offensive players have just not been able to get it done for Somerset.
From the Somerset 20-yard line.
Well, the sophomores are stepping up on defense. You know, Davion, Jack Balsera, Jacob Garcia, Camden Walters. And, you know, You love to see the young guys out there, and they're playing really great today.
We can talk about the sophomores, but we can talk about the best class, the most athletic class, the best class all around, the junior class. I don't even have to say why they're the best class. I mean, that should just be a known fact.
Well, I forgot to mention also Bryce at free safety.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't really care. Oh, and the ball's dropped. And letting on the ball, that's number 42.
The sophomore, Jacob Garcia.
Yeah, whatever. Jacob Garcia lands on the fumble. But Lucas Amaya forces the fumble. And guess who's coming out at QB? Junior Mitch Musi. And guess who scored that last touchdown? Junior Kamani Alexander.
It was actually Junior Javier Brito.
Oh, okay. Makes my point all that better. And off the field comes Gavin Schmarcelin, also a junior. And Musi will stay out on the field. Smith, the receiver to his right. He's looking to throw. Downfield, he's throwing towards the end zone. He's got an open man and jump. Jason Felix, he's going to score. Touchdown. This offense is unstoppable. Put in whoever you want at QB. Junior to junior. Touchdown, Ja.
It's not whoever, it's Money Mitch with a dime to Ja, who breaks a tackle and gets a touchdown.
Money Mitch? Okay. Well, Money Mitch, as you call him. His first touchdown pass of his career. And Ja walks in for the first touchdown catch of his career, of my knowledge.
Well, now up 36, that it's a running clock now for Belen.
Yeah, so at 35 points, it is a running clock. Now, Lucas Avino is set to kick again. And, well, that was not a great kick. Hoping for the sake of Avino, it got tipped in some sort of a way. It just did not get much air off the ground. So his first miss on an extra point. 5 of 6. Belen maintains 35-point lead, 41-6. Running clock now, and we're in the third quarter. 3:23 to go. Bobby, Belen's defense, Belen's offense, everything's looked unstoppable today. What went wrong for Somerset?
I mean, Belen in the second half is so much more conditioned. They're so deep, you know, a lot of depth, and Somerset doesn't have it. You know, they're really tired out there. The starters are out there. There's people missing they have to keep substituting, but there's not really people to substitute. And Belen doesn't get tired. Like Coach Pino says, you know, we don't get tired.
Well, brought a new kicker in. Adrian Moye, number 31, who's going to make this kickoff. These kickers have been alternating. Moye, 2 kicks. Avino, 2 kicks. Zombano, 2 kicks. Someone has 3 kicks. I don't know exactly who. But Moye, I know, is making his second kick. Let's see what he can do here. Running, and the kick is up and away. It's a good kick. Fielded at the 5-yard line. And he's trying to get it to the outside. He cuts it back in, and he's almost tackled. He's breaking away now. Moye has to make the tackle. And Moye is fighting and just forces him to the sideline. So number 25, that is Nicholas Sanchez, can be the one to make the tackle.
55 yards. Somerset.
Well, Belen tried to pinch there, and it left the middle wide open. He was just able to run through. And a great play by Moye, and I'm not sure who made the tackle, but he was able to run him down using that speed.
Somerset with a good play. It might be their third of the game. And ultimately, he almost got tackled at about the 27-yard line, I think it was. I think that was Victor Torres that was holding on to his jersey. He spun out of it, ran, and Adrian Moye was a one-on-one situation, and he was not able to get by the kicker. So good job there by Moye. And talking about Michael Sanchez, who made the tackle, he's now earned himself some time out on the field. Number 25, the corner, who's now in press position. And they're throwing towards him, and it's just going to be overthrown. And Andrew Baracol has also found himself out on the field. Baracol, Sanchez, 2 seniors making their way onto the field with the running clock. Bobby really getting everybody a chance to play here. What went right for Belen?
I mean, everything. Pass game, run game, blocking, and then just that defense that, unstoppable.
Well, some confusion. And the handoff, and it's going to be a good run. He gets to the outside of Balsera. Barturin one-on-one, slips, not able to make the tackle, but it's made eventually. That is number 33, Chanley Pierre, who tackles him down on the 8-yard line. Bobby, what has been the biggest surprise? But actually, you're going to have to answer that question after our break real quick, because we have just reached the end of the third quarter as we enter the fourth quarter. You can listen to Brandon, our sideline reporter, give a quick report from the sideline about what's going on with Belen. We'll be back in a minute.
Hello, Wolverines, and it's an ecstatic game, 41-6. I mean, this has been incredible. Watching this game, Jacob Garcia had recovered a fumble right at the end of the third quarter that was hit by Amaya. What a hit. I mean, it was a great play, and Miatis has been subbed out. Mitch is in. We're going to see if Mitch can do anything. Kamani, the star of the night. I mean, 3 touchdowns. He's doing very well. One of them, he caught one. The other ones, he ran it in. But, I mean, he's been destroying this team. This team cannot catch up to Kamani. He has some break tackles. Rubio has been playing very well.
So you didn't get a good look of it, but they fumbled the ball, and they picked it back up. So Somerset is now positioned at the 11-yard line. And a bit of a surprise there, Adrian Vidal, the reporter. I'm hoping Brandon is still there, because he's my ride home. I would actually like to go home. And the handoff, and A.J. Balsera almost had the tackle, and a missed tackle again. A nice move over the top of Barturin and brought down a combination of Barturin and number 55, Charlie Nunez. Now, he is down on the field. It looks like we're going to have a break. But, Bobby, we did ask you a question from before. Would you like to answer it now?
Yes.
All right, so what's your answer?
Well, you didn't finish telling the question, so I think.
Oh, yes, the question. I definitely didn't forget it. Oh, yes, of course. What was the biggest surprise from today, Bobby?
Well, 3 names, Tyler James, Jacob Garcia, and Mitchell Musi. Either new at a position or new playing. They all had great games today. Mitchell, easy touchdown, Money Mitch. Jacob with the fumble recovery and a bunch of tackles, and then TJ playing lockdown at corner.
I think the biggest surprise is you thinking the sophomores are a better class than the juniors.
I never said that.
And we'll figure that out during the Wolverine run, and that will be here on WBLN. I just confirmed the Wolverine run will be here on WBLN, and we can finally settle this debate. Now, I would like to remind you, our class did beat their class last year, so expect a similar result. Bobby, are you going to be participating in the Wolverine run? No? Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know either. I don't even know if they've sent out the form to fill out.
Yeah, I mean, I did last year.
What did you do?
I forgot. It was something about, I think it was eating marshmallows.
Eating marshmallows? They make some of the most ridiculous challenges up. Eating marshmallows. Do like 10 push-ups.
Oh, I remember. It was blowing 10 bubbles with bubble gum.
Blowing 10 bubbles? I can't even blow a bubble with bubble gum. That's impressive. Well, so enough of our debate. The more important thing at hand is the injury. And he is walking off the field on his own willpower, so that's good. Now we can get back to debating. Bobby, Mitch Moosey, a massive surprise coming in at quarterback. What do you think led to this?
I mean, I think Cheney had a confidence that Belen was going to be able to close out the game, confidence that Mitch was going to make the right decisions, and I guess he was right because Belen's up big here late.
2 receivers. And it's a handoff up the middle, but it's stuffed immediately. He's still 4 yards from the end zone. And this running offense up the middle has just not worked well. They've broken about 1 or 2 runs, but the outside run has been the key to winning this game for both teams.
4th and goal now from the 4-yard line. I believe they are going for it. You know, the D-line will probably stop if they try an inside run. I don't want to jinx it, though. So do they try a pass here like they did on their touchdown, or do they try a read option, something trick play kind of?
I'm not looking for Somerset to score here because that gets rid of the running clock. Currently 10 minutes left in the 4th. And a pass to the floor. It's incomplete. And that was 4th down. So Belen will get the ball. I didn't realize it was 4th down. 4th down, and Belen gets the ball on their own 2-yard line. This is a big test for Miatis. What does he do? Sorry, Moosey, what does he do?
Well, we don't know who's in at quarterback yet. Oh, it is Mitch.
Boom. What a prediction. Mitch Moosey remaining at quarterback. He got quite a bit of time in the 3rd quarter and a whole lot in the 4th. Taking a look at Mitch over here. He looks calm, looks collected, looks like his normal self. Plays a lot of 7-on-7 football, a lot of flag football, so he gets a lot of practice throwing the ball there.
Well, 2 JV players are in at O-line. Michael Guillame, also known as Big Mike on JV, and Rafael Castro at tackle.
Michael Guillaume.
Oh, that's what it is.
Guillaume, yeah. His brother, actually, David, is in my grade. He runs track. I'm not sure I'm mentioning that, though. It's useless information for them to hear. But Michael, you can notice him by the fact that he's wearing a black helmet. It's the only one that's not a Belen helmet. And there's a timeout. I'm not even sure who it was. We'll be back in a minute. And back out onto the field is the Wolverines offense. And it looks to be a run right up the middle. And an exhilarating play. Oh, and a little bit of pushing and shoving after. That really added some excitement. And now talking it over, Mitch. Oh, and a flag is out. So now talking it over with the defense. Well, what happened there, Bobby?
Mitch ran a wedge, I believe.
Quarterback wedge, quarterback
yeah.
sneak, for those of you that don't know.
Oh, they wave off the foul, actually. So no foul on the play.
No foul on the play.
Waving off the foul, that was quite interesting. He actually gave a little bit of a late push to Mitch. I mean, that's going to happen. You're down by a lot, you know, just a bit of embarrassed. I can't necessarily blame, actually I could blame Somerset. They're down 41-6. This is their fault. But no need to go pushing and shoving other players. Let's finish this game cleanly, nicely. Yeah, and cleanly.
And nicely.
And cleanly. Moosey, the handoff to Bo. Bo to the outside, and he's going to get tackled early. This time there will be a flag.
Penalty marker on the play.
Let's see what they decide to do here. The penalty on the offense. So half the distance to the goal. That'll make it 2nd down and 10.
We hope that they can convert here on 3rd and long.
Third down and 10 for the Wolverines.
Nico Smith out wide.
Smith out wide. Musi looking, the jump pass. It's caught. Gabriel Sixto. And how about that? Mitch Musi, shades of Rogers. The jump pass, actually, it's more of a Mahomes thing. But a good pass. I thought he was throwing it to Smith and he threw it, but looked to be a good pass and a good play.
Shades of Rogers, more like shades of Money Mitch, the man himself, throwing dimes out here today.
Are you saying Rogers is based off of Mitch?
Yes.
Pretty sure Rogers started playing QB before Mitch was born. Oh, whatever. Musi at QB. He's got the receiver Smith to his left. It's a handoff to the outside. It's Barturin at running back. You heard that right. Barturin at running back, who's got to pick up 6 yards on the play. And we love to see Barturin at running back.
The ball carrier number 9, Matthew Barturin.
You know, Matty B, we talked about him earlier. He literally plays any position you want him to play. He can play O-line if you want him to. He does it all.
Oh, no. And a man is down. And it does look to be a Wolverine. Is that? Can't get a good look of it here. Can't tell who the Wolverine is. They're down on the 25-yard line. We'll be back when we can tell who it is.